Welcome. It's time to mix it up. That's right. New show intro. It's the Week in the Mixer, Season 2, Episode 10 now, getting in the double digits. Welcome. Want to get right into it. I got show notes this time, so hopefully the product's a little better. But probably won't have timestamps. Sorry, Anthony. As I am driving, I will do the best that I can to remember about the time in the video where I stop talking about the Padres. But no promises. I'm a busy guy now. You can respect that. Being a interstatesman as yourself with a child, you know how it is. Anyway, let's get into it. We got some, time sensitive topics to cover with the Padres up against the trade deadline. I know it's July 31st at midnight East Coast time, the only time zone that matters according to sports media. I'm not sure about the exact deadline, but that doesn't really matter. Is Thor and his hammer in glorious blonde hair coming to sunny San Diego? Probably not. Sounds like the two sides are far apart. Seems like the Mets have a pretty high price on Syndergaard. And the Padres, at least not yet, are not willing to meet those demands. Saw that one trade offer from some Mets stan where we would send Margot, Matt Gore, and Austin Hedges in exchange for Syndergaard. There were some hilarious Danny-esque responses in the comments section of that hypothetical trade offer that said, I'll do the trade, but not with Mackenzie Gore. Okay, so you wouldn't do the trade then. That's you can't turn off the I know we're playing in hypotheticals, but you can't just veto a player, line item veto a player in this hypothetical trade case, especially since arguably Gore would probably be the most sought after piece of that deal. So yeah, internet remains undefeated. Trolls that don't understand how to communicate these hypotheticals and kind of narrow down the public's thinking. Way to advance the conversation, guys. Gotta love to see that. So that's where we're at. That's the only hypothetical trade proposal from someone with a blue check mark that I've seen. I'm sure there's others out there, but that's the one that I saw. So that's the one we're discussing. I mean, we kind of talked about it in the thread a little bit. No way in hell I would do that trade. I don't know what it would. It probably would take someone like Gore, a prospect like that, otherwise, or to get Syndergaard, because otherwise, what are the Mets really getting out of it? You could send them maybe Kirby Yates. I don't know what their closing situation is like. Send them Will Myers, who nobody wants to pay. I mean, I believe the Mets are the ones that are paying Bobby Bonilla, right? So the last thing they need is more dead money. So yeah, I don't know if the Padres are willing to put together a package that would entice the Mets to bite. And the Padres right now, like I've kind of been saying the whole season, they're more than one player away. So, we get Syndergaard, and we missed out on the wild card by 4 games instead of like 8 or so. Maybe, and that's maybe best case scenario. I just don't think it makes sense to deal one of your top prospects for a player who you can only control for 2 years, and the best chance at making a run looks like it's going to be 3 to 4 years from now. So the deal just doesn't make sense. I wouldn't do it. I don't want it. As much as Thor is an exciting player, I don't think it's the right solution for the Padres at this time. We've already done a few deals that have made splashes. We don't need another splashy deal just for the sake of making a splashy deal. You need to build the team to have a better foundation, better, I guess a more well-rounded lineup, and just a better starting pitching rotation as a whole, not necessarily just adding one guy, because I feel like they're 2 above average starters plus maybe two other hitters away from being a true contender. It's a lot of pieces, and it can't get done with just this one player. And pretty much, as far as any other trade offers go for the Padres, I mean, unless it involves shipping out Will Myers, I just probably not going to be too excited about it. I just want them to get rid of that money so it can be freed up for future signings. It's just a lot of dead weight. There's a few automatic outs in the roster, and we got to start fixing that. And in this case, it might be addition by subtraction. The last thing I want to talk about, well, maybe not the last thing, but yeah, I cannot get the Fox Sports app to work. So, for the love of God, if anybody out there knows how to resolve this issue, or even just test it in your free time, a Padres game are on, you got one of your 7 iPads laying around, just try to bring up the game with the validation or whatever on your app and see if it works, because I'm driving myself crazy trying to figure out if it works. I'm about to I've uninstalled Fox Sports Go, reinstalled it, and it doesn't do shit. It still doesn't work. I go through my authentication. It works with every other app I use it for. It works for NBC Sports, ESPN, but it doesn't work with Fox Sports. And then now, when the game's on, it doesn't even have the Fox Sports San Diego link for the game. It's just blank. It just says there's no coverage for games in your region or something like that. Drive me crazy. So yeah, I gotta get that figured out. And then the other weird thing is you go to the Fox Sports website, and it'll have the little thumbnail for the Padre game. You click it, and then that takes you to the app. It forces you to open up the link in the app, and then the app gives you that message, there's no coverage in your area. So I don't know what the hell's wrong. I know earlier in the season it was working. I watched a few day games at work, but I don't know what's going on now. So yeah, that's my Fire Fest of the week. Just a real bummer, since I thought I'd be able to watch some of the games. Now that I'm over on this side, paying way too much in rent. But yeah, the last thing on the Padres is, I'm just gonna call it now. The season's over. They're not making the playoffs. I don't see that coveted, 8-9 game winning streak coming anytime soon. It's funny, you see the Giants have gone on a run that I've been saying the Padres kind of needed to do to be relevant, and lo and behold, the Giants are relevant. Not exactly a like a sports Nostradamus thing saying, oh yeah, if a team wins 10 games, they're gonna be in contention. That wouldn't make a bold call or bold prediction section of anything. But I guess what I'm trying to say is the Padres do have the talent to where if some things went their way in a short period of time, I could see them getting hot and doing something like that. But I think they've gotten to the point in the season where if it was going to happen, it would have happened by now, and I don't see it happening at this point. So they're dead. They're done. We're on to 2020. Just keep rooting for those young guys. Maybe Urias, Darby, Pulisic, all of them. Hopefully they get it together. Just Urias, and I know his call up hasn't gone the greatest, but yeah, playing for 2020 at this point. Get those ABs in the pros or in the bigs. Hopefully we'll pay dividends next year and in the years to come. Hopefully we can get a few more guys. I'd love to see Matt Gore get a start by the end of the year, but we'll see how it goes. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm rooting for this season. All right, Padres talk done at 13:20. Next up, we're going to talk a little NFL. So, first and foremost on my mind is the Melvin Gordon holdout, and specifically the comments from Phillip Rivers about Gordon's, it wasn't really, I don't know, I wish I could hear the full audio, the context of the conversation, the question, how it was asked, what they were talking about before, because it's just really, it'd be really out of character for Phil to say something like Melvin Gordon doesn't matter, basically, or to say something that would, put his contract situation intentionally in, in the spotlight like that, to make it seem like he didn't matter. Phil's not the kind of guy that would go out of his way to make a comment to a reporter with the intention of with the intention of sending a message to Melvin like, hey, get in here. And I think that's how it's kind of being portrayed. I mean, most of you guys saw it, but in case you didn't, he said something along the lines of running back is a deep position for us. We're going to go with what we've got. And I think it was originally posted on Pro Football Talk. Pro Football Talk has since then released another article, link, clickbait, whatever you want to call it, piece, saying that they did take some flack on that piece that they did, saying that Rivers' words were put into a different context than what it should have been. In that article, whoever wrote it, probably Florio, for Pro Football Talk, said that Rivers' actual words are more damning or or look worse than what they had written, which, I mean, I don't agree with. But basically, it seems like Rivers doesn't care if Melvin is there or not. But what I think he was actually trying to say is he was just speaking from his perspective. He's in training camp right now. He's got to work with the RBs that are there. And he's being asked about a player who's not there, which, there's no doubt in my mind that Rivers does want Melvin there. He's a top 5 running back, regardless of what other people might say. And he's a difference maker. He knows how to get in the end zone. And Rivers just wants to win more than anything. He doesn't really care about how much he's getting paid. He even said he's willing to play out his expiring contract if that makes it easier to get a deal done for Gordon. He doesn't want this type of distraction, but he's not trying to, he's a simple man. He wants to inseminate his wife. He wants to win football games. And that's about it. He doesn't care about much else. So, he's not some Weasley, I don't know. He's not some Weasley guy who's just that has an agenda that's trying to be the leader of the team by subverting the other, probably arguably the second most powerful piece of or player in the offense for the team. I mean, he knows he's the most important player. He doesn't have to do shit like that. And he wasn't trying to do it out of frustration or anything. He just, I don't know. I think he's just the type of guy who's so focused on what he has to do. He's just saying, like, we got some other good guys that are there, like, they're going to get more reps, and we're going to go with them, and lucky for us, they're pretty good. So that's what he's thinking. He's just thinking about what the work he has to do with the team in training camp and leading up to those first preseason games. He would probably like Melvin to get paid. He said he's a hell of a guy. Probably a heck of a guy, or a great guy, valuable guy, whatever he said. He wasn't trying to take a shot. Just get that shit out of here. And I did hear something, I didn't do any fact checking on it, but I think Melvin's going to be back probably after the first or second preseason game. He's under contract, so he doesn't get paid if he doesn't meet certain deadlines, and I'm not sure what the legal rights are, but it's not like the Le'Veon Bell situation where they were franchise tagging him and he just didn't sign the tag. Melvin's already signed his contract that he's going to play for the money that they agreed on paying him. So if he doesn't show up, he doesn't get paid that money, and I believe he's still under contract, so he can't just go sign with another team. So there's not much he can do. His hands are tied. I mean, the one thing is, if as soon as he gets a nick or a bump, he has no incentive to play out his contract, because if he wasn't, given a new deal. So I hope he gets paid. I hope I wouldn't pay more than $10 million, 4 or 5 year deal. $10 million. I know Gurley's getting like 13 a year or something, but I think there's ways you can put incentives in there and maybe make it work for both sides. It sounds like the Chargers are more in like the 8 to 9 million a year range, and Melvin's thinking he's going to get 13, 14. He's going to get Todd Gurley money. I don't know. Maybe he'll end up playing for, a lower team that's in desperate need of a running back. Like the Niners. I think they have money to spend. And, they got a few more years before they're relevant. So maybe that's where Melvin can go. We'll see, though. We'll see. Next up, was going to talk a little more running back holdout since it's related. Zeke's holding out. Basically the same situation. Similar, at least. I think Zeke still has 2 years left on his contract, where Melvin only has 1. So he's even in a lesser position to kind of force the hand. But I did hear that Jerry Jones came out and said that you don't need a running back to win a Super Bowl. So as someone who typically overpays for their beloved or fan-loved players, things looking pretty bleak for Zeke. Although he does have all those other off-the-field issues, so maybe Jira, who's had his fair share of off-the-field issues, just wants that gone, so the spotlight can be refocused on him where he really wants it. We'll see how that plays out. I think Zeke will be back around the same time Melly G. See how that goes. Injury news for the NFL. I saw a few things. Sterling Shepard, broke a finger. AJ Green sprained his ankle. Sorry, Jeff. And I know there were some other Giant receivers that got hurt. There hasn't been... here comes the jinx. Well, I mean, AJ Green, I guess, is a big player, but there hasn't been, like, a season-ending injury to, like, a big, high-profile, high-talent guy yet. we'll see. I mean, I'm saying it today, what is today, the 28th, 29th? So we'll see. I mean, there might even be news as I'm recording this. Somebody tore an ACL in afternoon practice. But let's hope not. Let's hope everybody gets through the whole preseason without any major injuries. Because you would hate to see someone like Patrick Mahomes tear his ACL in training camp, preseason. You just hate to see that. Hopefully that karma doesn't come back and bite me. But yeah, I said it. We're gonna move on before I get any more NFL trouble. So 25-50. We ended NFL talk. Now we're going to get into the reason why we're here. It's been a while. It's kind of the foundation of these videos. Everything else has just been practice. Mixer news. The commissioner checked in this week. We got updated standings for the props. Jeff's in first. I'm in second. Jeff's got 29 points. I got 23. Anthony's got 22. Mason's got 19. Jess has 16. Matt has 14. Danny has 13. Zach has 12. Jake has 2. So, kind of 2 or 3 tiers there, depending on if you think Zach and Jake are relevant. I don't know. Zach's part of the middle tier, so Jake's in a tier of his own at the bottom there. And of course, we got Sean, who gets to pick his slot because he won the league and is the reigning champ. Yeah, I did really bad at March Madness, and that kind of hurt me. Otherwise, it'd be right up there with Jeff. That's okay. Anthony didn't submit anything for my prop, so he's probably kicking himself. Being behind me and Jeff. If he would have just submitted something, he'd be up there with Jeff and in the catbird seat, whatever that old timey saying is, and I'd be in third. So what does this mean? What does this mean for us? It's draft order. We still have one mystery prop, which, I mean, there's not that much major sports left, so I'm not sure what it would be. I hope to God it's not another freaking golf tournament. I don't know what it could be. Horse races are done for this year, right? So, yeah, I mean, I guess we could do a fight. There's got to be another fight coming up. I like those. Mason might have a slight advantage on that since he's an administrator for r/Bones Jones is a fraud. But I'm okay with that. Be Mason at his own game. If you want to be the best, you have to stomp on some of the worst people to get there. Some of the best nations are built on putting down the lowest people. So the mixer being a reflection of that would just be poetic. And then we got some randomizer, which, I mean, yay. I'm sure I'll do well in that. But yeah, I mean, Jeff likes to go at the top, so he'll probably try to go for the 2 slot. I'm kind of torn on where I want to go. I got to do some more mocks. I did my second mock today, so I haven't really loved my teams that I've been mocking. We'll see though. We'll see if once I get more news, build my ranks a little bit more, familiarize myself with kind of the lay of the land for this year's fantasy season, I'll have a better idea where I want to be in the snake. And you all should do the same. I'm looking forward to the first MFL draft of the season. Me, Jeff, and Matt should be firing that up soon. So it'll be fun. Waiting 8 hours as Matt picks time out, inevitably, each time. And explaining to him how the process works probably 4 or 5 times. And then he'll have the built-in excuse that some of his picks were auto-drafted. So yeah, I mean, gets me closer to the $100 for winning that league. But yeah, looking forward to it. What else do we got? I think that pretty much covers everything. You know, guys, get ready. That day is going to be a busy sports day. The Sunday before Labor Day. We got Tottenham versus Arsenal, North London derby. There's like 4 races that day, which I know you guys all care about. I'm sure the Padres will have a game where they're trying to avoid getting swept against who knows who. And yeah, I'm sure there will be some preseason action. I think the preseason games are wrapped up by then. But yeah, super excited. Fun times ahead. We got what? I think it's September 4th would be the draft. So just over a month. 5 weeks. 5 weeks. 4 or 5 more at Mixer this week in the Mixer episodes. So it's gonna do it for now. Barring any crazy sports news, Padre trades, that's gonna do it for this week. So catch you guys later. Let's get it. See it.